Hope you all can see. So let us talk about the concept of continuous integration today. Right. So let us take an example. Continuous integration is, let's imagine a team of people writing a code. One second. Let's say a team of developers. Okay, development team. um, Making changes, like we know now technically what is that called as, right? They're making some code changes. Those are called commits. So they make the commits on GitHub. Whenever there was a commit on GitHub, we need a system which can identify those changes, pull it, and developers making code changes continuously. This can be coined as continuous development, right? Once they are making some changes to GitHub, it can be pulled and build. What is meant by building the code? Anyone? What is meant by building the code? We need a system which can pull the code and build it. And once builds are successful, then it progresses to next step. But before that, what is meant by build? What is meant by building a code? So building the code is nothing but, let me tell you, mm, building the code is nothing but compiling and packaging the code, right? Compiling is nothing but converting the source code into executable code, right? Converting your source code into executable code is called compiling. Again, what is meant by converting this source code into executable code? If you take an example of Java, developers will write Java files, .java files, the raw format, or the called the source code. This will be converted into executable files with extension .class. .class files are executables with a .class extension. They will be created when you compile, right? So let's say if they have 10 .java files, when they compile, they'll get 10 .class files corresponding to every Java file. That's called building the code, right? That's a code build. Then once this is built, all of them would be packed into a single ready to be deployable file. Single ready to be deployable file will be created, which is called packaging. Right, this is called packaging the code. So building the code is nothing but compiling and packaging put together is called building the code. This is called building, and this can be done in different ways. This can be done from the IDE, this can be done from a script, this can be done from CLI. You can build the code in variety of ways, but here in the automation process, we use some build automation tools like Maven, Ant, Gradle. All of these, like any of them can be used, not all of this, any one of those will be used to build the code. How to do that, how do you build it and all, we will learn, but this is the basic concept of building the code. So the format may differ, but that's a general concept. Compiling and packaging put together is called building a code. Compiling means converting source code into executable code. Packaging means converting all of that into single deployable file. Is this much clear for all of you? See, one important thing I would like to let you know, the link which you get through an email is a unique link to join the classes, right? You cannot share the link or multiple people cannot join from the same link. Please remember, if one person already joined with the link, it will not allow others to join. It could be by mistake or somehow like the link might be shared across, or same people might be trying to join the link because you might have shared it in the group. It could be like various reasons for it. So please check, that's a unique link which shouldn't be shared with anyone. Only the registered link which we share, everyone will register from there and should join. So keep the task, keep the process simple. Okay, try to join from your own link, not from a general link or shared link. That will help everyone for a smooth process to join. All right, so this is called building a code. So whenever code change, any commit happened, will be pulled and it will be built. And let's suppose builds failed. Builds failed. There are some build errors. Who should fix those build errors? That will be sent to developers. Again, developers will fix it, means developers will make changes here. Okay, they means make changes means a code change, right? That should be again placed into the version control system. So because there is a commit again, it will be pulled, built until it is successful, right? So if builds fail, it will be reported to developers who will fix it, right? Build errors. And let's suppose builds pass, then it will go for next step of continuous testing. Okay. Continuous testing process. Continuous testing is like your test cases will be executed, and if all the test cases pass, let's say all the test cases have passed. If all the test cases pass, then it would be like go for next step. What if test cases fail? It would be again reported to developers, right? Because the bugs or defects should be fixed by them. Means again a code change. Again a code change means again the complete process will repeat. So let's suppose if test cases pass next time. Okay, here this is a failed case. Here all test cases pass. It will go for the next level of deployment. Right, let's say prod deployment. Here I'm highlighting the final deployment, which is a prod deployment. But before deploying to prod, it will go through different process of a process like continuous development, continuous builds, continuous testing, continuous deployment. Okay, again here deployment happens in multiple environments, from lower environment to higher environment. Understood? And is this much clear for everyone? So this process of a continuous development, continuous builds, continuous testing is called continuous integration. And this is done with a continuous integration server like Jenkins. There were many other tools in this category, right? Like TeamCity, Travis CI, sorry, TeamCity, you have UDeploy, and you have Hudson, GitLab, right? There were many tools which works like a Jenkins, but Jenkins is the clear winner in the category because of the features and because of the flexibility it offers for the users. Right? Any questions in this part, everyone? This is the concept of continuous integration. Means in simple, in layman terms, any changes made by developers will go through the entire process of build, testing, and deployment. Right? For every commit, this process will repeat multiple times in a day. Whenever there's a commit, it will trigger the process automatically, and it will happen multiple times a day. So that imagine any change is going through the entire process means you can expect quality in the process. Continuous deployment, Anbalgan. It's not code deployment, it's a continuous deployment. Means any changes made is built, tested, and deployed. Deployed means in layman terms, it's running your application. But how to do that? How Jenkins will do all of this? How Jenkins can help us? Let us see. Before that, let me tell you, Jenkins is a great tool. It can be called as orchestrator. Orchestrator meaning it can orchestrate the things. In Jenkins, you will create the jobs like a build job, okay, a test job, a deploy job. All of that Jenkins will do these jobs. Means then Jenkins will execute or do these jobs. You have to create the jobs like a build job, test job, deploy job, and each job will execute one after that. Means you will create build a job, test job, deploy job, and also connect them in such a way that once build is done, it will trigger test and then it will trigger deploy. Of course, do you think Jenkins is building, testing, and deploying? It will use the right tools at the back end to perform these tasks, right? Right tools at the back end in the sense it will use a Maven for building some any test cases. Your testers may write test case in any using any framework. Any test cases, like a test case might be written in Selenium, JUnit, UFT, whatever it is. So those test case execution will be taken care by this job and deploy job, right? All of these tasks will be executed by Jenkins, right? So Jenkins is like an orchestra. It doesn't build or test or deploy. It will use the right tool at the right point to execute the task. So you have to create those jobs and you have to create the pipeline. So let us understand like how do we create the jobs? What is a job actually and all we will learn today, right? So let's get into the Jenkins details. See this is the difference between traditional integration, continuous integration. If you know the traditional integration, you can appreciate the importance of continuous integration. What is a traditional integration? Traditional integration is nothing but like earlier, way back, whenever developers make a code change, it's not going to be integrated into the system immediately. After 6 months, it would be integrated into the system, right? Like let's say developers made a change, it would be integrated into the system after some 6 months, right? So integration happens once in a while, maybe once in 6 months, once in a 3 months, they would bring the code and integrate. This is a manual process. There will be separate team called integration team who will integrate it. There will be development lead engaged here. They'll spend some sleepless nights to do this integration because it's a 6 months code. When you are integrating, you find new bugs, challenges, and also sometimes it might be working on integration servers, but it wouldn't work on other servers. These are all the challenges it has got with the manual integration or traditional integration. See, the time gap between the integration events are huge and the number of events are less because the time gap is huge, right? Also, it's all manual. It's error prone. It's not a stable, reliable process, and many resources have to put their time and effort to do this, which is a challenging and daunting task. To overcome this, we have continuous integration where integration events, like you can have multiple integration events, right? So integration can happen multiple times a day, right? Every day, it could be multiple times a day in the sense, exactly. It can happen multiple times a day. Whenever a code changes happen, it would immediately tested. Not that testing will happen after 6 months or after a week. Immediately, it will be executed. I mean, it will be tested, built, integrated, and deployed. Means that's how new feature is released to the end users. You can imagine, like you see the gigantic applications, you can imagine how quickly they deploy new features to end users. Isn't it? Is this clear, everyone? Differences and what are the advantages of it, of this continuous integration? Isn't it? Is it just okay, multiple events? What is the advantage? The advantage is that You can because every change developer make is going to the entire process. You can have quality products, you can have quality improved quality, right? For features can be delivered quickly to end users, improved quality because every code commit is going to the entire process. Right? So these are all the advantages. Also, it's automated, no manual intervention, or a team need not spend hours of time dedicated for this integration. It's automated, so no chance of human or manual errors. These are all the advantages. Okay. So see here, traditional integration events are less and the time gap between them is large. Integration events happen manually once in a while. Errors due to manual integration, time and effort consuming process. Right? So these are all the challenges. Like it takes a lot of time, human errors are possible, integration happens manually once in a while. These are all the challenges. And okay, benefits are like quality is improved because every code comments go through this entire process. It increases the productivity and reduces the risk of human or manual errors, right? So other continuous integration tools are CodeShape, Bamboo, TeamCity, and Travis CI. And why Jenkins? Like, why do you need Jenkins? See, Jenkins is very widely used when compared with other tools. And the blue one is for the Jenkins, right? And other tools like CodeShape, Bamboo, GitLab. GitLab is picking up, but again, Jenkins is a market leader in this category. If you know Jenkins, if you learn Jenkins thoroughly, you can switch over to other tools very easily. So good to go, or any questions till this part from anyone? Let us talk about the features of Jenkins. It's open source. Okay, it provides good plugin support. Plugins are like add-ons for Jenkins. They will help enhance or extend the functionality of Jenkins, right? They were like add-ons. Like a simple example, if you need any feature on your mobile, you would install an app, right? Same is the case with the plugin. If you need any feature or functionality in Jenkins, you will install a plugin. They are like add-ons. You can consider them like some programs or executables, whatever you call it. Suppose if I want to run some Docker task, you can install a plugin called Docker. So that's how plugins work. There are plenty of plugins. It has a good plugin support and community support. Jenkins application is basically a Java-based application. A Java-based application means it is developed in Java, right? So obviously Java applications, Java has got good community support. So is Jenkins. It's a developed in Java. It doesn't mean that you can build only Java applications there, or else you should know Java, you should learn Java for it. No, you don't need to learn Java to use Jenkins, or it's not just used for CI/CD for Java applications. It can be used for applications developed in any technology. Right? So, working on multiple operating systems, it also, because like I told you, it's a Java application. Java works on multiple operating systems, right? So it works on Linux, Mac, Windows as well, and easy to set up and upgrade. You can easily set up Jenkins and upgrade. We'll see that, like how do you set up Jenkins? It's very easy. You can set up on any server, including your laptop or a Linux EC2 instances, or you can deploy it as a container also. And distributed team management. Like if you have a team of people working on Jenkins, you can have their access and permissions managed very well, which helps in distributed team management. We will do the hands-on on this part as well. So those are some of the features of Jenkins, but you will see, you will understand them once you visualize them. We'll go to that part. Good to go. So let's get started with the Jenkins setup and the hands-on. Like I told you, you can set up Jenkins on your laptop, any operating system, you can install it. And here we are doing it on EC2 instance. You can use the same instance which you used till yesterday. I'm creating a new instance. You can use the same one or create a new one. It's up to you. June Jenkins, I'm just giving this name. And here AMI. Okay, we already created this, right? I'm creating the same EC2 instance, Amazon Linux 2, AMI, Amazon Mesh Images, Amazon Linux 2, which is free-tier eligible. And then instant type is T2 Micro, which offers 1 CPU and 1 gigs of memory. And key pair. You can create a new key pair, like go here, give some name, create a key pair, PEM file will be downloaded. Or else I'm using the key pair which I already have, which is AWS key. Okay, that's already downloaded and I'm using the same for multiple instances, so I would like to use it. That's all the configurations you have to give now. Launch the instance. If anyone haven't created till now, these are the steps. There is a question from Raviteja. Can we use RHEL also? Okay. See, this one Amazon Linux 2 is a Red Hat based instance. I have shown you that in the HCOS release also. This Amazon Linux 2 is nothing but Red Hat CentOS based system. So I'm using it. You can use RHEL, but those are not free tier eligible. Here itself you can select Red Hat. This is free tier eligible one you have. If you want, you can use it. But certain installation steps may differ. But if you want, you can go with it. So let us get connected to this instance. Okay, you know now the meaning of this, right? Go to the location of the PEM file. My PEM file is here on the desktop. SH keys is where I have AWS PEM file. So SH minus I AWS PEM and the DNS of our EC2 instance. Confirm. Right, I'm onto the EC2 instance. And I switch to root now. Root user can help install Jenkins. Let us install Jenkins. But before that, before installing Jenkins, you should have Java installed as well. Java is a prerequisite for Jenkins. Okay, just give me a minute. And one more thing is, like, you can follow this. Okay, you want to install Java, right? Just go here, install Jenkins. Okay, install Jenkins. This is the official website. We'll be doing this. The URLs may change, the links may change, but this is the process you have to install. I would like to go to jenkins.io download. Okay, this is the page, Jenkins download page, and here you can see, depending on your operating system, either Windows or Kubernetes you want to install, or FreeBSD or Gen2 or a Mac or whatever it is, choose the operating system, or Ubuntu, whatever. Choose that. Mine is Red Hat based, so I'm going here and I'll be executing these commands. Right? It is about downloading the Jenkins repository file, importing the key file and installing it. In this, it is also showing installing Jenkins. Right? That's how you can go with. These steps are available in the lab assignments as well, which you can follow. Just checking the configuration. Yeah. So first download the jenkins.repo file. What is this jenkins.repo file? See, all the M repositories are configured here. hcm.repo.d. Okay, all the M repositories are configured here. If you go to right, these are the repo. Whenever you do M install get, it's downloading. You might be wondering from which URL, right? Those URLs are configured here. These are called repo files. Already by default, certain repo files are configured. Similarly, to install Jenkins, you can create more repo files like this. Okay, from where it should configure. Similarly, we are doing the same. We are creating a Jenkins repo file from where Jenkins should be downloaded. See here, I used wget output, place it into this folder, into this file. So now that repo file is created from where Jenkins is downloaded. All the URLs will be present here. See here, package.jenkins.io Red Hat stable, right? So now to download this again, we need to import the key. So let us also import the key to download those Jenkins. These are all available on the official website. Now let us install Jenkins. Before that, one more thing. We need to have Java also installed. You may install different versions. Here I am installing Java 17. Java 17. If you say this, you can't see a package. Oh, it was installing. Okay, fine. Let me install it. Install Java. It is installing the Corito version, but I don't think it will install develop version. Whatever it is, fine for Jenkins. Okay, Java is installed. This is the one it has got installed, Corito, Amazon Corito version. Java 17, that should be fine. Now let us install Jenkins. Install Jenkins after creating those repo file. Should install Jenkins. Confirm it with yes. Okay, Jenkins is installed. Let us start the service. Systemctl start service. This should start service, a Jenkins service, and Jenkins will be running on port 8080. Jenkins has got a great user interface. Jenkins has got a great user interface and majority of the tasks will be done from the UI. So we need to start, check the status. Status Jenkins. Okay, you can see that it's active and running, and this is the process ID. This is where you use these commands to check the port. Pipe grep 3824. So you can see it on 8080. Right? Jenkins is running on 8080. Let us go to this instance. You know how to access this. We have done this for Tomcat and so on. Get the public IP address. Hit that on 8080. You should see Jenkins. But what we should do before that? You should open those ports in the inbound rules of the instance. Go to the security rules, inbound rules, add the port 8080. Okay, and the port is like from anywhere. Save the rules. Right? So you can see it's running on 8080. Right, this is your Jenkins and this is your lock. Jenkins will be shown as the locked. For the first time, it will be locked. You have to unlock Jenkins. This is only again one-time task, the first time task. And where is this unlock password? It will be present in this path var lib Jenkins. Var lib Jenkins is the home directory for Jenkins. Means if you just go here, go to varlib Jenkins. See, this is called the home directory of Jenkins, meaning where all the Jenkins data, all the Jenkins information will be present here, right? So that's a Jenkins home directory. Okay. So you can see all the job secrets, everything that it is also showing the same. Under this path secrets, initial admin password is present here. So you can get that file here. For login, like go to secrets, you will see initial admin password, cat this. Okay, this is the password. For the first time, it will be locked. You have to unlock it using the initial admin password. And done, your Jenkins is unlocked. And now you will see this customized Jenkins means you can install the plugins. Like I told you, right? Plugins will enhance, extend the feature of Jenkins. If you need any feature or any functionality in Jenkins, we can install a plugin. So there are two options again. You can go with the suggested plugins or install, you can choose the plugins of what you need. This is again only one time task. For the first time, it will ask you later on as per your project requirement. If you need more plugins, you can install there also. That is also fine. Now we'll be installing the plugins here. I'll go with the default or suggested plugins. These are nothing but programs or executables, I told you, right? Cant plugin, build a timeout plugin, Gradle plugin, build agent plugin, Git plugin, and so on. Default plugins will be installed. And where do you think they get installed? In this plugins folder. Go to plugins. See, you see only this now, right? A bunch of them. ls -l pipe that to word count. It will give you the number. Number of plugins are like 54, 71 now. See, do you see they are like, you are seeing the increase in the number. The count is increasing as the plugins keep on increasing. Understood? See, this is where you get all your plugins installed. Okay. So it may take a couple of minutes depending on your network and the bandwidth. So it will give you this page of creating first admin password. Sorry, admin user. We can create some user here. Even users will also be stored in the Jenkins home directory. I'm creating a user by name admin. You may give any name. Okay. Confirm password, full name, and some email address. So save and continue. So it shows this is your Jenkins URL. Like this is the one. Save and finish. Okay, you can start using Jenkins now. Start using Jenkins. Okay, this is your dashboard or the welcome page of Jenkins, right? So this is the welcome page or the dashboard. And by the way, like I told you, you can see all the users, all the plugins installed here, all the user data. Like we have created some user as admin. Users. Right? See admin user information. All users will be present in users.xml. Oh, right? So admin user. So like all the information is stored here. These are application users. Remember, these are not users on your Linux server. These are application users. Jenkins application users. Okay, and here you can see create a job. So let us see what is a job. Let me introduce to the concept of job. What is a job basically? And also here you can see new item or here you can see job, right? Whatever it is, let's go here. Create a basic one. Give some name to the job as job 1. I'm giving the name here as job 1. And there are different types of jobs. Job, item, project, these words are used interchangeable in Jenkins. For now, I'm using free type, classic general purpose job type that checks out from up to 1 SCM, executes build steps serially. Like this is a basic one, the most widely used one. Pipeline type is the one we use for our pipelines. We'll go to that. But for now, just create a freestyle one. Once you create a job, You can see here the general section, source code management, triggers, and everything, right? So for now, just go to build steps. Okay, we'll come to all of these sections. First, for now, let's go to build step. Here you can choose some build step. I'm choosing execute shell. Means I'm trying to execute some shell command, echo. This is my first Jenkins job. Just some echo command, that's all. So you can apply, means it will be saved and you will still remain on the same page. But that's all I have. I'm just having some shell command, save it. So this is my job created. That's all. Means your job will do some task. Here the task is executing a simple shell command. Right, tomorrow you might be creating a build job, test job, deploy jobs, and so on. For now, it is just about executing a simple shell command. So that's all is this job. So I can run this job. How do you run build now? Build now means run the job, execute the job. Okay, I can build the job or I can run the job. But here I will ask you a question. Like, where do you think this job will execute? By the way, where is this Jenkins running? Is it running on my Windows? I mean, in my laptop, or where is it running? Jenkins is available and running on EC2 instance, AWS instance. It's not running on my local machine, correct? So that's the first thing. Okay, it's running on EC2 instance or the same server where Jenkins is installed. My job will run. Correct? Okay, fine. This job will run on the same server where Jenkins is running. But can you tell me like which program will execute this shell command, or which tool or which software will execute this shell command? Terminal says Anbalagan, localhost says Sarangi, Prabhu says SH. Okay. So I want to run a command. It will be executed on the same server. We know that it would be executed on the same Jenkins server. So if I run here some echo command, which program is executing this, which tool or which software is executing it? The shell program at the backend, right? Same is the case here. Shell program on the server will execute it. Let us click on build now. See, build one happened. Console output. You can see the output here. And it says started by user admin. Because I logged in as admin user and I'm running this as an admin user, this job is executed as admin. Okay. And it is printing the output here. Okay. So that's a job one. You may run it any number of times. I'm running it twice, the second time. And here you can see again the same, right? You can run the same job any number of times. Means me, rather than going and running this echo command like this n number of times, I have created a job which will execute this task. I can also auto trigger the job. We will learn that slowly, but this is the concept of job. The whole point is you need to understand where is this job is executing, which program or which tool is executing it. It's not Jenkins is not running the shell command, or not Java, right? It's a shell program on the server. Similarly, tomorrow we'll create a build job which will be executed or which will be built by some Maven, which will be tested by some test automation framework and so on. Am I making sense? Are you all following? Any difficulties, any challenges? SSH install as a plugin on Jenkins. No, no, Anbalagan. It can oh, okay. You mean because you are seeing this. Okay, I understood. See, here you are seeing some options, right? Whatever you are seeing are because of the plugins, default plugins we install, right? See, if you go to build step, you are seeing shell, ant, gradle, maven, and so on. If you want to run something else, some Python script and all, those respective plugins should be installed. Correct. This shell one is available. Maybe that could be a defaultly installed plugin, as we install default plugins. Okay, so this is the job. So let me create another job to make this things clear for everyone. Let me create one more job. Again, the same way. Let's say I'll create something like a job 2, freestyle. Okay, again, I'm going to build step. Execute shell. Here, I would like to have date command. Date command. What is a date command? It's a Linux command which will print the current date of the server. See here, June 19th, 118 UTC. That's a server time. Server EC2 instance server time will be in UTC. Okay, UTC time zone. So date command. And I want to put this output into a file under TMP called date.txt. Output of this command is redirected to this file. Do we have this file actually? Let's go to TMP. We don't have this file, date.txt. But now this job should create this file and put the output there. This is to confirm where your job is running. Okay. Also, I'm just printing a simple echo command, right? So you may write some shell scripts, Python scripts, whatnot, anything you can execute here. Save it. Run it. Run means build the job. This build is not code build, which we learned some time back. Okay, here you can see, let's build it. Okay, console output. See here. Right, the date command output and the echo command, you can see everything. Now let us see the file. Let's go here. Earlier we don't see the file, but now you should be seeing it. See, I ran it twice, right? So at 119 and 120. I use double redirection, so it is appending rather than overwriting. Correct? So this is how you have jobs. Like we can also connect them. Like once job 1 is executed, it will trigger job 2 and so on. We can also do that, but I'm not connecting as of now. We can also connect them so that they'll execute in a sequence. Okay. Also, tomorrow we will be creating a build job. Assume this is a build job, this is a test job. We can connect them as well, right? And another thing is the interesting part. If you just come here, you will see list of environmental variables. Jenkins has got inbuilt environment variables like branch name, change ID, or tag name, or job build number. Build number means this one. Like you see build 1, 2, right? So these can be used to parameterize our pipelines. We'll use them. So I'm just showing you. So these are all the list of environmental variables which we can use once we start our CI/CD, right? So build number 2, so register the build, we can use that variable build number and so on. So now that we understood the basic concept of what a job is, we can go ahead and create our jobs like build a job, test job and all. But before that, there are few things we need to understand with respect to administration. Like that comes under manage Jenkins or the administrative part of Jenkins. Let us get into that. Before we create real jobs, let us understand few admin concepts. See here, you will see an option manage Jenkins. Of course, this manage Jenkins, everyone will not have access to this. Okay, this access will be restricted. Okay, to few people who can manage, who can be given permissions to manage the permissions and everything, right? So here, if you just go again, those are all like different categories: system configuration, security, and all. First, let's go for security. Here you can see secure Jenkins. Define who is allowed to access or use Jenkins, right? So let us talk about this. Till now, we just logged as an admin user. You may have multiple users. You may have to restrict their access and permissions and what they see, right? So go to security. Till now, it is logged in user can do anything. Means anyone whoever log into this can do anything, but that's not a best practice, right? And also anyone can do anything means anyone with this IP address and port number can do anything, which is again not preferred in reality. The one matrix based security can help you. So I'm choosing the authorization strategy as a matrix based, and also this is authorization. Authentication also you can choose. Means you can connect with different LDAP sources or Unix or Linux user groups. You can integrate it with other data sources if you have, I mean, other databases if you have. As of now, we are using own user or a local database where we are creating users and they are stored in XML format on the same server, right? So we are using it. So here authorization is, let's go with the first matrix based. See, you will see matrix here. Add the user you have. I have one user admin. And I want to, like, if you want to make this user admin, give all permissions. Okay, and save this. And you need more users, right? Let's create few more users. Go to manage Jenkins again. You will see users, create, delete, modify users that can log into Jenkins. You can manage users here. Let me create some couple of users for our testing and demonstrations. Create a user. Create another user. Right, I have just created a couple of users. You can see those will be available here. Got disconnected. Let me reconnect. Users.xml. Right, you can see user one, user two, all of that here. Okay, let's come back to our Jenkins. So users are created. Now, uh, hmm. Now we can restrict the permissions to these users. Again, go to Jenkins, go to security. In this matrix, we can add these users like user one, user two, right? So if you want a user one, see, I have added everyone to matrix. Here we can give the permissions. Like user one should have this. See, here these are all the different permissions. Don't worry about what are all this. Here, if you keep your cursor, the help text will tell you what this permission is all about. And these permissions, these names keep on varying, the UI keep on changing. So you should be able to read it and understand what this permission is all about. Overall read means, first of all, they should see the dashboard. Overall read should be given for everyone. Then under the job, let's say user one should have only read permissions, whereas user two should have permissions to build, cancel, configure, create, delete, discover, and so on. Every permission, right? So this is how you can give different permissions to different users. Is this matrix clear for everyone? Okay. So now let us test this. I'm saving it. Now let us test. We are logged as an admin user, so I can do all of that. Let me log out. Let me log in as user one. User one, password is user one, sign in. Right? You can see here, like we are logged in as user one. So user one has only read, right? He can just see the output. He can see the output. That's all. That's it. Right? He don't have permissions to build or configure or anything. Do you see the difference? Let me log in as user two. User 2 haven't got manage Jenkins permission. Do you see? Even user 2 cannot manage it because he's not an admin. But when he go to job, yes, he can build it. Configure means edit. He can run. He can rename. He can delete. He has all the permissions. Understood this, everyone? So that is about matrix-based authorization strategy. Matrix-based authorization strategy means, if you see this, so if you take some user, like user one, user two, and if you take some jobs, job one, job two, job three, whatever, like a few jobs, user one, let's say he's a fresher, right, or a newcomer, new join into the project. He might be given all read permissions. He might be given all edit permissions, right? So you can restrict the permissions of each user. This is one way to do it. Depending on how you design the project, how do you want to allocate jobs to the team, right? So here, if you see a particular user is having same permissions across any job, right? User one is having same permission across any job, job one or two or three, whatever. Same is the case with user two. But what if I want this kind of strategy where each user can have different permissions across different jobs? Job one, let's say job two, job three, user one, user two, user three. Okay, here you have all read permissions, edit permissions. Oh, sorry. Let's say he may have read on this. He may have also read here. This user may have edit permission here. right? Means each user may have different permissions across different jobs. How is that possible? Or all permissions, Eric? Isn't it? Because there might be, see, different strategies are implemented in different projects to handle the jobs and the pipelines. It varies from project to project, org to org, and so on. Sometimes jobs may be assigned depending on your experience levels, or else jobs may be assigned depending on our expertise. Let's say I'm coming from a dev background, build jobs may be assigned to me, or else irrespective of the background, they might be choosing assigning with respect to experience levels, right? That's how we can work on. So if you need this kind of strategy, that's where comes something called project based authorization strategy. This is matrix based. Do you understand the difference? Depending on the project, depending on the job, permissions can be assigned. Let's see how to do this. Good to go? Okay, let us come to this. Now let us log out, log in as an admin to see the project based. And here you may go to manage Jenkins, security. Here you can choose project-based matrix strategy, right? Here again, you can add the users to this matrix. User one. I'm adding all the users. User two. I would like to make admin. I'm giving all permissions and basic read, overall read for all the users. And here per job also, I'm giving read only for the users, because this is a global permissions, means the permissions we give here are applicable for every job. So on any job, I'm expecting them have read permissions. But where do you give that job specific permissions? Let me save this. Here the global permissions, minimal permissions I have given. Job specific permissions will be given under each job. Go to configure. Here, if you see, enable project-based authorization strategy. Here you can choose the permission. Sorry, enable project-based, that's all. And here in the matrix, you have to add the users like we added in the matrix before. User one, user two. Okay, admin all permissions. User one should be having read. User two should be having all permissions. Right? So here we'll give permissions. Okay, let me give this is job one, right? To identify easily all permissions for user one on this job and user two only read here. Okay, so job one, user one can have all permissions. Is this matrix clear? Can I go on? Save this. Let us go to job two as well. Configure. Admin user. User one. Admin user. And user one will have only read and user two will have all permissions. Okay. Understood this? Let's save it. So now let us log out from admin user. Let's log in as user one first. User one. User one. Okay. So now if you see user one, he is having all permissions on this job. He can configure, he can build. User one can build this job. When user one is building, it will show like third build should be started, and it will show as started by user one, right? Similarly, if we go to job 2, he doesn't have any permission. Same user 1. But he is having different permissions on different jobs. That's what project-based authorization strategy will do. Understood this, everyone? Then login as a user 2. Okay, if I log in as user 2, see, he doesn't have any permissions on job 1, whereas he has got permissions on job 2. We can build this job 2, but he cannot build job 1. Got it clear, everyone? Understood? Okay, thanks everyone for confirming. So that's how matrix based and project based are used. Let me pull up the diagram. This is what is the difference, right? These are very much useful in reality because like every user might need different permission. Not that user will have same permissions on all the jobs. Depending on the scope and their limitations, we can assign permissions. This is what is distributed team management. Okay. And what if you need a combination of both? Like I may need something which is a combination of matrix based and project based, right? That's where comes role based authorization strategy. Role based means, see, if there are too many users, creating permissions this way may become challenging, right? So what we'll do is we'll create users, like we'll create roles, like okay, this user should have build role, means he should be able to build all the jobs. This user can have admin role, this user can have only read role, kind of. So we'll create the roles and assign users to the roles. Let me show you. Like I'll create a, maybe I can create developer role also, tester role. Okay, tester should have permissions to job 1, job 2. Okay, for those permissions, okay, let me put it this way. These are the development related jobs. These are test related jobs, for example. Okay, and these are deployment related jobs. Okay, so you assign, you create these roles, developer, tester, deploy, and all, and you assign the jobs. Sorry, you categorize the jobs as such, and then again build a role for deploy job. So for dev jobs, a read role for dev jobs. Okay, again build role for test jobs. Build, oh sorry, read role for, means let's say a different project. Why to call them as test and develop? Let's say project 1, project 2. So you can create different roles for each project and assign users to those roles. Right? Am I making sense? So the combination comes with a role-based authorization strategy. It's called RBAC strategy, role-based access control. How do you get this one? Let's go to Manage Jenkins again. Under Security, under Authorization, you see matrix based and project based till now. But I need role based. I'm not seeing that option. What should I do? I'm not seeing RBAC strategy, role based access control strategy. What should we do? That's where comes plugins into picture. Plugins will enhance and extend the functionality of Jenkins. If you need any functionality in Jenkins, you will need a plugin, right? How do you get those plugins? Go to manage Jenkins. I'm also showing you how to install a plugin. See here under system configuration, under manage Jenkins, you have plugins. Add, remove, disable or enable that can extend the functionality of Jenkins. So just go here. Updates means already default plugins were installed. If you have any updates, it will show here. Available, all thousands of plugins available. Installed ones, whichever are installed. In the starting, we install some default ones, right? So if you want to uninstall also, you can uninstall them. And for some of them, uninstall is grayed out because it's a dependent plugin. First, uninstall the main plugin so that this can be uninstalled and so on. So now if you need any plugin, this is where you can search. You don't need to learn or by heart them. Just search here for whatever plugin I need. I need something like role based. See, you will see this plugin filtered and you can see the readme of it, role based authorization strategy plugin. I'm selecting this. You can see what this does. This is meant to be used from Jenkins to add a new role based mechanism to manage user permissions. It will provide global roles, item roles, agent roles. How to use it, everything is explained with the screenshots, right? That's how you have documentation for the plugins. Plugins keep on modifying, updating. So this is how you can understand them, right? So for now, I'm installing it. Select this and install. The plugin will be installed. You can see the updates happening. Some of the plugins would need mandatory restart of your Jenkins to install, but this plugin doesn't need anything of that sort. Right, once plugin is installed, if you just go to manage Jenkins, here you can see security, and here you can see in the drop down role based. Do you see that? That is the importance of plugins. Now, as we install the plugin, means that's not coming under default ones. You have to install it explicitly. So once I install, I see that. Now you have to choose this and we have to configure it. Any questions till this part from anyone? So this is how you can see the option for plugin, and we can get started configuring this plugin in the next class. Any more questions from anyone till this part? Which option is most widely used? RBAC is most widely used. The role-based one is most widely used in reality. It's a combination of matrix-based and project-based. If you understand matrix-based and project-based, you will understand this role-based. Any questions in any part that we covered today? Okay, there's a hand raised from Raviteja. Yes, Raviteja, go on.
Jenkins part, it's fine for me. But whenever we are accessing this URL from outside, so instead of adding inbound tools, we can disable the firewall settings, right?
Disable the firewall settings of what?
I mean, like if firewall is enabled, we can disable and we can access this URL.
Firewall of EC2 instance or firewall of your laptop? Firewall of what?
EC2 instance.
You will disable it. Meaning? You don't have anything to disable. You have to allow the inbound or outbound rules, whichever you want to allow. I want incoming traffic allowed on port 8080, so I have added to inbound rule. It's for allowing the traffic. You
Okay.
don't have something to disable the whole firewall.
Oh,
You don't have that option.
okay. Thank you.
Any more queries from the previous class? Summarizing the thing, like today we have started with the CI concept, like what is continuous integration, differences between traditional continuous integration. And then we set up this Jenkins server and started the hands-on talking about the features of Jenkins, right? And just a second. Okay. So we just started talking about the features of Jenkins, and then we have created few sample jobs in Jenkins, and we have seen security in Jenkins, like using matrix-based and project-based authorization strategy. That is in short what we discussed. Yes, Sarangi, any question?
Yeah, actually, I have a question. Belongs to before class. Actually, it belongs to.
Louder,
Uh,
please. Your volume is very low.
Hello, am I audible now?
Audible, but voice is very low. Go on, please.
Actually, I have a question related to Git stash. When
Okay.
I'm trying to practice on stash in the Git concept, so I'm getting issue while the partial stash is there, right? We are using like Git stash hyphen p to partial stash, so it's not working for me actually.
Mm-hmm. What's happening? Like, what is the error you are seeing when you do Git partial stash?
Yeah, it's nothing is coming from me. So
There might
what
be,
I have done, like I have created
there
two
might
files.
listen, there might not be any changes in the working directory. That's why you are not seeing. Do git status. There should be some unstated changes in the working directory, right? Are there any changes in the working directory?
No,
Unstaged. When you don't have
no.
unstaged changes, stash will not work, right? Unstaged changes should be there for your stash to work. It will move
Okay,
unstaged changes from working directory to temporary shells.
okay, got it. So I need to be on stage some staging file. Then I need to provide that.
Unstaged means make some modifications, it will be unstaged, then try it.
Yeah. Okay, okay, got it.
Any more questions from anyone?
Jenkins can install Windows and you can.
Yes, you can install it on any operating system, but I would suggest you to go with the same setup I'm doing, Amazon Linux too, so that you can complete your hands-on without any hiccups.
But if you put on an instance on it won't get billed, right?
Hmm?
If you put the instance on daily, it's easy to
You have
install.
a free tier limit, right? 750 hours per month. In the free tier, we have discussed that. Use it within the free tier limits, you will not be charged. And our usage will be in the within free tier limits only.
Okay,
So that you will get the exposure to real environment, a kind of on cloud. So better you do it on cloud.
fine.
And use it within the free tier limits. Always a safe way.
Okay.
All right, then. That is all from my end for today. We'll stop this instance now and we'll start tomorrow to get started with the hands-on. Thank you all. Good day. Bye, everyone.